Are we taking a quiz first?
Yes, Munib, I guess you came in late because they've been doing it since 8:26 this morning. So you're going to have to get that done in your own time. We're about to move on we're about to move on to the notes. So everyone else has 2 minutes here. All right, 1 more minute, we'll get started. I'm not talking. Okay, guys, so let's go over a couple things. We are starting the next part of our unit, which is called industry. So talk about how that kind of goes down. If you look, let's see. If you guys look here, Unit 2 is called Industrial Immigration, Industrialization, and the Progressive Era. So we're going to now look at the industrialization part of it from 1877 to 1914. All right, so I'll kind of explain what that means. Give me 1 second, though. Okay, sorry. So I'll explain what that kind of means, okay? And what you have to understand is while we have a lot of immigrants coming into the country, a lot of immigrants are going to go work in what's called an industrial job. And while we have a lot of industry taking place, a lot of immigrants are going to come in because they know that there's a lot more jobs. Now, this doesn't seem maybe to start as one of the most interesting things, but you guys are all working from laptops or iPads right now. You guys all mostly have phones. You guys all mostly have video games. You guys mostly have TVs. All right, these are obvious things. I guarantee without industry, you don't have any of those things. All right, the technology, the life we live today in 2020, having all of these cool things around us, okay, in 2020, as opposed to not having them in 1860, is having a lot to do with industry, having new technologies, having new ways to communicate, having new technology to help people in and out of their lives, is all from industry and industrialization. So let's talk about what this means. All right. So number one, I'm going to read the definition of industry, and then as we go on, I think it will be confusing at first, but as we go on, I think it will become an easier and easier thing to understand. So let's go through and figure out what this word industry means. Industry means, okay, I'm just going to read it. It's an economic activity concerned with the processing of raw materials and manufacture of goods in factories. Now, without the definitions below, this could be a very complicated thing. But I think between the examples and between everything, you should be able to understand what this word kind of means and what the focus is here. So it's a money activity. So it's a way that our country's trying to make money or someone's trying to make money. So what it does is, in industry, it's concerned with the process of raw materials. Okay, so let's first start, let's use the pencil as an example. Okay, I have a pencil here, it's just something in my vision. Figured this would be a good example for me to use. Okay, pencils are not just made out of the ground. All right, you can go to a farm and get a pencil. Okay, so we're growing pencils today. You go pick one out so you could write. That's not how it works. The way this pencil came about was through industry. Okay, this was processed most likely in a factory. All right, and this was made up of a lot of raw materials. So raw material is the basic material from which a product is made. All right, so you could something have like wheat, wood, iron, graphite, okay? Something that's made from the earth or something that is created on its own. All right, you don't need to make it or put it together with anything. So a raw material. So this pencil right here has a little bit of wood, a little bit of lead, has some graphite, okay? It's made up of a lot of different raw materials. To make this one pencil, okay, it had to be manufactured. It had to be created, okay, or built, okay? So when we take a pencil, we take a raw material, we take a bunch of raw materials and we manufacture and put them together within this particular situation. Now I want to say a couple of things, all right? If I wanted to make this pencil, I think I'm smart enough to do it. Okay, if I had all the raw materials and you gave me a set of directions, I can make this pencil. All right. But if I'm the only one that makes, if I make this pencil, I make it on my own, I make only one pencil, that's not a lot because we know to make a lot of money, we know to use a lot of pencils, we need to be able to produce a bunch of them. All right. So when a raw material is manufactured, it becomes what's known as a good or a product. Okay, you guys might know it more as a product. Okay, take a look at the laptop in front of you. Okay, the laptop, okay, you know, has a lot of keys, has a screen. Okay, it's made up of a lot of different raw materials. There's some glass. There's these keys are made up of some material I'm not so sure of. And what happens is it's produced into a good. Okay, you can't grow a laptop out of the ground. You have to produce it. All right. Where are most of these goods produced? Where's this pencil produced? Where's your laptop produced? Where's your video game system? A factory. Excellent. Excellent. So I know you're paying attention. Right, they're made in factories. Okay. What does a factory have? A factory has machines that are set in a way to help produce materials. You have workers, human beings, working in those factories to make sure that the products and goods and raw materials are being put into place and to make sure that the machines are working properly. All right. Industry is going to start to take over how our country starts to make money. All right. And let's start to look at why a country would want to have industry. Okay. There are some negatives with it, but today I think we're going to focus on the good. Why does a country want to have industry? How does it help our country, or how does it help out the world when a country has a good industrial economy? All right. Everything around you, Okay, just look around your room right now. A lot of the things that are in your room were either produced or manufactured in factories. You go into your kitchen, most of them were made of raw materials that are made in factories and you're put together to be put in your kitchen. All right, that could be a stove, that could be a refrigerator, that could be a toaster oven. All right, you could be sitting at a desk right now with pens and pencils. The desk is made of, wood, which is raw material, but then it's put together to make a product for you, a desk. My desk that I'm on right now, made up of wood. Okay, and I got these wood pieces, we put them together. Okay, that is making an industrial product. All right, so number one, why does a country not have industry? Well, number one, you can create objects or goods at a very fast rate for people to use. All right, even food. Okay, you guys had a bag of chips over the last week. That food is made from raw materials, made from farms, okay, from processed areas, and then it's put together to make a food product. Okay, this pencil. Okay, this pencil right here, this is a product. Now, when you can create objects or goods at a very fast rate, you can make a lot of them for a lot of people to buy. That's going to help out our country because they're able to use the products a lot more. All right. Number two, jobs are very easy to do and easy to come by. All right. They're not incredibly tough. You don't have to be highly educated to work in an industrial factory. I'm not going to say, I want to make this clear. Easy meaning you don't have to have a lot of education. You don't have to be overly smart. But working in a factory can be tough because it's just a lot of hard labor. You're going to see how some of these jobs were very tough. It's just that, they're working in a factory, which is a tough job, but you don't have to be overly smart for it. It's usually putting products in a place, picking things up and moving them. It's not too difficult. All right. And you don't have to really speak English to do it. So we saw the Irish, we saw the Italian, we saw the Chinese go and work in factories when they first came to the United States. Many immigrants took jobs in the United States working in factories, working in industry, because it was a very simple job for them. All right, wasn't tough to do in terms of being educated. All right. And the last things, this is the first time you're going to see the word mass produce. Okay. I'm going to try and explain it. It's going to be a little complicated to start. All right. But industrial economies can make a ton of money for the country. All right. When you can mass produce something, what that means is you can make a lot of something, you can make it cheaply, and you can make it quickly. If you ever want to make it extremely, extremely rich and be extremely, extremely wealthy, find a product that not a lot of someone has, and then mass produce it. Make a lot of it, make it cheaply, and make it quickly. Because if you can make a lot of something cheaply and quickly, it's not going to be too expensive for someone to buy. And therefore, since there's a lot of it out there, people are going to buy a lot of it if it's a good product. All right. A great example of this is the pencil. Pencils are easy to make. Okay. We used to, before they were industry, I'm not sure if you realize this, they used to write with feathers and ink. Feathers and ink. All right. But after industry, people produced pencils. There were people that found a way to mass produce pencils, and they made a lot of it cheaply and quickly. Okay. And this is why the price of pencils, what can you get? 12 of them for $1 probably? 12 of them for $2? All right. Because it's so cheap to make, a lot of people can afford them, and the price of it isn't so bad. All right. So that helps out our country because now they're buying things that are a very fair price to them. All right. So we are going to stop with this portion of copying it down because we need to move on to the assignment. Now, I want to just mention a couple things. Number one, this is if you notice, this is a two-day lesson. So I do not expect you to finish at this period. I don't expect you to even get it done. I actually going to give you all of tomorrow to work on this assignment. And then to be completely honest, ladies and gentlemen, you could have all of Wednesday to work on it as well because I don't see you again until Thursday. So really, it's a 3-day assignment. So you have plenty of time to work on this. But let's get started on what you want to do here. All right? So I have a little bit of a Webquest. Okay? And let's just start with the definitions because I think that's mostly what you'll be doing for this period. All right. I want you to get the definition from Google for industry. So now this is one we've done together. All right. So, if you go back to what we did, we just wrote down the definition from industry. Okay. So I'm going to copy and paste like you see here. All right. Just put it on Google on the other side. And I'm going to paste it right there. I'm going to make it smaller because that's really annoying. All right. We're going to make it smaller. All right. That seems a lot better. All right. So I got the definition from Google. All right. Very straightforward. Copy and paste. You guys are easy to do that. But the tough part is now you're going to take that definition, okay, from Google, and now you're going to put it into your own words. So if I'm doing this exercise here, I would say, industry is a way people produce products in factories for other people to use. Right? That might be a definition in my own words. Right? You're going to do the same thing for raw materials, for labor, for factories, for urban. Again, very simple. Just get the definition from Google. That's the easy part. That should take less than 5 minutes. Okay? The hard part is putting into our own words. Most of you will only get through this for this period. All right? But let's say you're a little ambitious and you do move on. There's a Industrial Revolution Webquest. You're going to click on this website, historycrunch.com. It's a very good website for kids to learn new topics, and you're going to learn about the Industrial Revolution, okay? Notice how I usually am pretty good about, look in the introduction for questions 1 and 2. Look for new inventions in the Industrial Revolution, okay? Go to the particular parts where the answers are. Everything should be there. We want to become more familiar on what industrialization, what the Industrial Revolution was. Industrial Revolution is a term for everyone trying to have more industry within their country, and obviously the United States was a part of that. All right. So right now it is 8:56. You have a total of 15 minutes. Again, I'm thinking you should be able to finish this particular assignment right here. All right. Please write in the chat if you know what to do and are understanding, because I'm going to put myself on mute and take attendance, but I want to make sure you guys are good. Yes, the Webquest will take 2 days. Are you guys good? Please write in the chat to make sure you're understanding. Understand. Thank you, Braylee. Thank you, David. Thank you, Evelyn. Okay, great, guys. I just want to make sure. So, yeah, again, just make sure you get this first part done today. There's no reason you can't get this first part done for the first 15 minutes, and if you do finish early, then work on to the website part of it. All right, but everything's working with Google and trying to put it into your own words as best you can. Wait a little bit, Hums. I'm just taking attendance.